Reggie Rusan, I am just so proud that you are my patron to the next art exhibition. I've known you for quite many years, and I value you as a person, as a businessman. You're a smart guy. I've seen you working with IT genius in contents and ideas, and I just adore you every way. So you're a good friend and a wonderful, wonderful nobleman. And thank you for joining.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah.
as a patron for the arts, I see you're also a visionary regarding culture because we cross cultures. Actually, you come originally from America,
Mhm.
and I was born in Finland, but we have an international connection now. So we've known each other through the British and Commonwealth Chamber of Commerce here in Finland.
Yeah, that's how we were first introduced.
That's how we were first introduced, and in a very good way. You were listening to my speech there, and after the speech, you came to talk to me about art and how I was doing, and I thought that was so sweet. So, how do you feel about this possibility to be a patron to a private art show?
Quite excited and interested. It's something that's new for me. I've always appreciated art, even as an IT guy. One of the things that someone told me about my personality is that I tend to like beautiful things, and which is I guess why I'm really attracted to art in kind of all shapes and forms.
That's so nice. And this art exhibition is about waters. It
Mhm.
will be held in Helsinki in February, just to tell the audience. And then the subjects are quite abstract about the Lappish waters and the global waters. So there will be mystical subjects and a lot of contemplation, a lot of like delightfulness and beauty about strength. So this is a great topic of the
Yeah, I'm
time in
looking
a way.
forward to it.
Yeah, we can bring a lot of friends there. You can bring your network there. We can have speeches and a great opportunity to work as an individual patron and an artist because it's quite flexible.
Mhm.
So if it would be the firm directly as a sponsor, then the flavor of the cooperation changes.
Right.
But when it is a patron, a personal, a connection, a person, and then the artist and the art exhibition, it gives us a lot of room to decide how to cooperate. And
Mm.
I recommend this to many listeners and viewers that this kind of cooperation is very old. It comes from the Medici times and the Michelangelo times, but it's extremely delightful and very free. So it supports the artist's freedom. I think even more than a company as a
Mhm.
sponsor. But of course, when they give the artistic freedom, then the cooperation is great. But it doesn't always happen. And even they say it well, but it doesn't always happen that way.
Right.
So, what does art mean to you in your personal life? You know many artists, I know, in Helsinki.
Yeah, I've met many artists now here in Helsinki and some abroad as well. I think one of the things that you keep sort of saying is in what you're saying is art is sort of freedom. It is an expression of one's sort of self, and people kind of put it out there for it to be interpreted by others, and kind of freely associate what it means to them, and I tend to like that.
That sounds like a dream thing for an artist to hear. But it's not that common, It doesn't. Uh, I find a great patron is a person that an artist is actually looking for to work with.
Is it?
Because I know many people, but I invited you to this because I
Right.
value you so highly and to ask you to cooperate. So it comes like from the appreciation from the artist and wanting to cooperate, wanting to present together and to show the mutual values that we have,
Right.
which is respecting people and diversity and the global at the same time, but valuing each culture. We've had great talks of your culture and then of equal rights and of the liberation to express oneself in a peaceful and good way. So these are things that this time doesn't really have that much. I mean, we would think it would, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it seems we've gone backwards in many ways, which is unfortunate. The expression of oneself in a peaceful way doesn't seem so relevant anymore, which is quite sad. When I think about, one of the reasons why accepted this is because, knowing you, I always think about, kind of the first thing that I think about is that um, you put forward this mutual respect. And that's typically the respect for, the arts, people, and the environment. So, and inside of people, you keep mentioning culture, and that becomes, part of this general respect. And we've lost a respect for each other, which is, really interesting. I would say, kind of growing up in the culture that I grew up in, we get fed a particular message about other cultures and other people. And it wasn't until I started to travel that I could actually see that those messages were filtered and often incorrect. And the true people and the true cultures were far more rich, and their associated art, whether or not it's visual or it's musical, or are also very rich, and we don't necessarily get to see that. And I think because we don't get to see those things through unfiltered lenses, we tend to accept the messages that are fed us. And that overall kind of closes our mind in on, maybe a mindset that doesn't really reflect reality.
The first time when I spoke to you in Helsinki at this occasion where we met, I felt that even though you were working in the IT and digital world as a businessman and as a multi-talented individual, I felt you were quite artistic by your thinking. It was very broad-minded and very like global. So I think even though we come from two different cultures, but for some reason when people have this openness to look at things, they find mutual grounds.
Yeah.
And very quickly, I felt that, no, I know this person already. And
Yeah, yeah, fully agree. And I would think that, we did work on this activity together where we parallel the creative process and the innovative process. Creative process being more associated with the artistic activities, and innovation being more associated with business. And quite frankly, the processes are very much the same. And so even though I consider myself as a not so creative IT guy, even in my career coding, which has to be very structured, but still very innovative as well. And that is where, in my opinion, art and business meet, as well as, culturally, you can find these elements in all cultures as well.
I felt so the same. And it's always nice to not only be a friend to a person, but to cooperate and work and share thoughts and even plan new things. I mean, you've been a planner and advisor in other projects I work with. So it's wonderful to find these kind of people around us because as an artist, I'm always nourished and I feel more empowered by people who support many angles of me, not only the artistic creative side, but me as a person, as a thinker of my time, as an influencer, as a speaker, as a business planner, because that is art as well. I
Mhm.
mean, I can, as an artist, go to a company and say, "Hey, did you think of doing this?" And it's just a different way to look at things.
Right.
So, so I really hope that during this exhibition, your guests that you will invite there will enjoy it and be inspired. And I will have many, many speeches for them when they come over.
Good.
So I'll be in Helsinki for the whole week.
Mhm.
And we have a great chance to be there on 3 different nights if we wish. But it's a very free choice there as well. People can come and go the way they like. And we'll talk about different subjects. Some are global and some are local, but always kind of building something new.
Perfect.
And the subject around waters is like my newest passion.
Mhm.
Uh, there's one work that is a mystical figure coming from the Lappish river waters, moving the ice aside,
Mhm.
because the Lappish people tell me that there's a certain light in the spring light, that there's a certain tone that comes when the ice begins to move.
Okay.
And when I heard this, I was like, "What is that tone?" I wanted to, and then they showed me it's a certain yellow, a little bit towards lime.
Okay.
This one work is about this. It's a very mystical figure, but she's also rising from the cold and the dark into the light. And then there are global works, very abstract, about shark waters without the sharks being anywhere in the painting, but you have to feel which areas are the sharks' living areas in the oceans when
Mhm.
you see the tones of the water. So the water has different elements in different countries, and the animals, the water creatures, and the marine life is also regarding to those elements of that ecosystem. So it's extremely interesting as an artwork subject, and water is everything. I mean, where it's in us, it's in
Yeah.
the air. We don't see it. It's in the rivers. It's in the ocean. And without the oceans, we're not here. So
Yeah.
water is the source.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited and so happy you're on board. I feel safe, delighted, and empowered by you being my patron. So thank you for coming.
Good. So, yeah, looking forward at all. Also, I would say definitely, hopefully water will be less of a constrained resource going forward. So I'm sure your works will touch on that as well as keeping them clean. So
I hope so too, and I do that work also in other projects, but I think they all intertwine. Like, because you're always an artist. It's in your blood, it's everywhere. And you're a visual person. So when you look at the light and you look at the shapes, the art is always inside you.
yeah,
So no matter what project I'm involved in, I'm always first and foremost the artist. And then comes the other goals, but it's all the same to my mind. So, but we will see in February.
yes.
And what would you like to say to the audience about being a patron? I hope you don't get 1,000 calls from artists now all asking you to do it.
And well, again, it's a new experience for me, and I'll know more after the event is over. So, I mean, again, there's a huge amount of trust and respect that I have for you. So I'm not worried about any things like that, or anything that would present a risk. I'm actually looking forward to some maybe edgy pieces if you've got some included in that would create a bit of controversy. I always think that's a good thing. So it gets people talking, and hopefully you can have constructive discussions about controversial topics. I think even the fact that where water sits economically from a global sense is a controversial topic by itself, and we could have more discussion around that.
Absolutely. And at the opening, there'll be along water, there'll be wine served, and we'll have a wonderful evening in
Sure.
February. And I think art is also like when people come and see art, it's kind of a neutral area for
Mhm.
business people and artists and different influencers and maybe just people that want to enjoy the moment to meet each other. So, so for the business people, an art event is a possibility to kind of be a little bit more free from the pressures of the business life. So it can offer a lot of spiritual here and like some kind of a extra addition for the day. So I think art has its place with business people's lives because it's kind of like going and exercising. You know, you're exercising your spirit in a way. You're
Mhm.
opening it to something new, and it can be really, really fulfilling to just be there without a name or a number, just to be along. And then when the next workday comes, then to be the manager again
Yeah.
or whatever the position is, to kind of just to be there with your spirit and meet other people and just be there and feel the thoughts around the arts and how it makes your heart feel and your spirit feel and your mind and intellect feel. So I think it has a place in the business world, networking system as well.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, if I start to think about how graphic design plays in system development, and you need the creativity to create these great user experiences. That it isn't just people interacting with data, but they enjoy doing that, and that's usually done through because some graphic designer or artist has done a great job creating this end user experience. So for me, there's a direct tie.
Absolutely, and it will be exciting to see the names in the guest book
Yeah.
after the event is over. As I always say, it's not the amount, it's the quality. So let's
Mhm.
hope it will be a wonderful event, and we'll take along what will come and see what will happen. So thanks for joining, and looking forward to seeing you in February, the latest.
Likewise.